Welcome to Vice and Easy, your podcast for all things Miami Vice, with your host, Marina. Hello and welcome back to Vice and Easy. Before we get into this week's episode, Season 5, Episode 18, World of Trouble, just a note. If you're following along and you're like, wait, this seems out of order, it is. I am going in order on the DVDs and I'm just skipping Freefall for now because that will be the last episode of the series that I cover, naturally. I do have some tricks up my sleeve. I do want to do some fun, bonus episodes after. But if you're wondering, this is not in production order either. Vice of Miami podcast is doing their podcast according to the production orders. Because if you go to Miami Vice Wikia, this is definitely not in order. Victims of Circumstance was actually the 15th episode, with Over the Line being the 16th and so forth. So I am not doing in the correct order. I'm just going by the DVDs and just pushing Freefall to last. So now let's get into it. Per IMDb, the synopsis is as follows. Experimental EMP railgun is stolen by the son of Al Lombard, Sonny's reoccurring frenemy and former mob boss, who vanished after his boss Librizzis sent hitmen after him. When Al reappears to visit his son, the hitmen find them. And we open with Crockett and Tubbs going up an escalator. And I was right. This is the Miami Free Zone. This is where this stood in as well in the Milk Run episode for the airport. So Sonny and Rico are here to witness new technology that its nickname is Havoc, and you'll hear what it stands for in just a second. And it's meant to not just stop bad guys, but stop their cars in their tracks. Boy, I really hope it doesn't go into the wrong hands.
Message! Rico.
Hey, Hanley.
Glad you could make it. All right.
You know us, always on the cutting edge of law enforcement.
That's why I invited you. The Bureau is very enthusiastic about this device, and we wanted your input.
Then we cut down to the ground where we're going to get a presentation of the Havoc device. Again, please follow along with the gallery because you'll get to see some great GIFs of this in action.
The system is called Havoc. Havoc stands for High Voltage Vehicle Override Capacitor. Essentially, it's a stun gun for vehicles instead of people. Havoc can stop a wide variety of vehicles, some of which we have here today for our demonstration. Cars, trucks, even boats, without harming them or their passengers.
Okay, so this sounds promising. However, as we're watching along with the cold open, the catering crew seems a bit sketch. And even though the FBI is helping to put this on, you would think that they would maybe vet or do a little bit of research into this catering company. But no, in a surprise to not too many of us, they end up stealing Havoc. I wanted to say they stole the Havoc. I don't know if you use an article for just Havoc. I would like to say the Havoc. One dies. The rest of them all escape by stunning a metro car dead in its tracks. And then we get the intro. After the intro, we're still at the scene of the crime where Crockett is talking with his contact at the FBI. Great mustache, by the way. And Crockett tells Hanley, his FBI contact, that definitely you could see that they had inside help, as they knew exactly how the demonstration was going to be laid out. So now they're on the hunt. And so they're doing a little bit of recon on this yacht. Lots of pretty girls on the yacht. We have a butler. Not the most handsome man in the world, kind of bumbly and goofy. You'll see that later. You'll definitely see a GIF in the gallery. Hans, the major arms dealer of our dreams, is chatting with a recast Sal Lombard. So the original Sal Lombard at this time is acting in the show Fame. I want to say Michael DeLorenzo, something DeLorenzo. I will double check this. And a new actor comes in and he wants to finalize the deal to give our man Hans the Havoc. Oh my God. But he wants more money because one of his men died. I don't think Hans is going to take to that too well.
Everything went well.
No, Mr. Weitzer, everything did not go well.
Bernard, ring Salvatore's. You don't have the gun?
Oh, yeah, I got your toy all right, but one of my boys was killed.
Real tragedy. Please accept my heartfelt condolences.
Well, you think it's funny? Sitting here on your fancy boat while Johnny gets killed? Well, laugh it up, man, because it's gonna cost you another $100,000 to square it with his family.
Look, I am no stranger to janky editing myself. However, I have known that season 5, the level or the attempt to kind of smooth the transition in the ADR, and ADR stands for automated dialogue replacement. It's when an actor records their lines after or before in a studio and not, you know, you can kind of tell it sounds out of place, but it's pretty bad this season. This is another one I found.
It's my custom that the quoted price is the final price.
And it's my custom to take care of my friends. He had kids. Now you either make good or I find another buyer.
That would seriously jeopardize your career, Mr. Lombard.
Don't you threaten me. I got the Havoc stash so deep you'll never find it. You got 2 days.
The poor butler, he doesn't mean to, but he like comes up from behind very quietly, which also, again, you have to learn pretty quickly. Do not do that because Sal just turns around and knocks the tray. And obviously he's mad at his boss, so he doesn't apologize, but you should have apologized. Made the kid feel a little bit better. But okay, so we know where they're standing with that. But speaking of Sal, even though it's a completely different actor, the actor this episode, the actor's name is Tim Quill. But speaking of, they have a very sweet father-son reunion where Al gets to surprise Sal. That's not going to get complicated. I'm not going to twist that this episode. But it's really nice. They share a really deep hug and they bond. And they learn a little bit more about each other because a lot of things have changed, like a grandson.
Dad, it's so great to see you.
There hasn't been a day that's gone by in all of these years that I didn't think about you, kid.
Me too. So many times I wanted to talk to you and ask you questions. I heard you were safe, but I didn't know where.
I didn't want you to know, kid. It was better that way, believe me. This is someplace you got here. What are you, a contractor? What is it?
No, I package capital for real estate projects.
My son packages capital for real estate projects. Now, you see? Now, that's class. You know, Sal, believe it or not, all I ever wanted was for you to be happy, to do something you like, be respectable. You make me very proud, son.
What if Librizzis hears that you're back in town?
Forget about Librizzis. He's a candy store gangster who couldn't take over for his father, just like I said.
Is that why you're back? Are you going to move on Librizzis?
Nah. Maybe if it was 10 years ago, but not now. I know too many fighters who didn't know when to quit. They wound up with cauliflower faces praying to win a lotto someplace. That action's not for me anymore, kid.
That is very sage advice, to know when to quit, and very bittersweet considering what happens this episode. And unfortunately, Rita, Sal's wife, and Tommy, his grandson's mother, is not a big fan of Papa, but Sal says he's going to try to speak to her and clear things up. So as Papa Lombard is walking out, Crockett and Tubbs cross paths, follow him, and they get to hear a lot about what happened. And it's very cute because they still have a very friendly rapport, and you can see that there's a lot of respect there, even though they're on different sides of the law. And just when Crockett and Tubbs start asking him about, Librizzis, men who may have run into him in Jamaica who all ended up dead, Gina, looking great in this. It's not a shirt dress, because when I say shirt dress, you're just thinking of like a large oversize. But it's this really uniquely cut dress that fits her really well, and then the sleeves are of a different material, but she looks like $1 million. So she comes in and introduces Mr. Lombard's lawyer, who quickly whisks him off. We catch up again with father and son as they're walking down by the water. We get some great gifts and some great pictures here. One of Al Lombard fully turning around to check out this girl in a white bathing suit. Another with two young girls running past them as they're kind of fighting. And there's also a great gif of them kind of hashing it out with a girl roller skating in the background that I all had to include because I thought they were very funny. But, however, you can tell that the situation is going to get a little heavier as Al is telling Sal to remember the important things in life. Sal gets a page and meets with Lawrence Fowler, also on the boardwalk, as Papa, or Al, is watching. And he starts freaking out about Havoc. And then when Al and Sal meet up after, because obviously Papa has seen everything goes on, he calls the son on some stuff. But again, the son who grew up with a gangster father is going to throw it right back in his face.
Nice clothes and a fast car, and that's it.
Yeah, so what? Huh? So what are you? Where do you get off, Mr. Holy Arroyo, huh? You used to lie to me every chance you got. I used to have to read the newspaper to see what was going on, and you still lie to me. So don't tell me you don't like who I am, because I'm just like you.
Yeah, that is actually a great way to sum it up. That if you don't want your kids to end up like you, and if you don't want to end up like your parents, you will inevitably end up doing just that. But it's really sad because at that time, Al's trying to go after Sal after that fight. Sal's shot by a gunman up on a nearby balcony, and Sal dies in his dad's arms. And there's a very sweet moment where Al closes his son's eyelids. Man, like, Al came back to town to reunite with his son in, maybe less than 24 hours. His son is gunned down, dies in his arms. His son mentioned something about a package at the post office. So we'll revisit that. But, geez, poor Al. Poor Sal. Poor Lombards. Crockett and Tubbs also check in with Lombard because they were also kind of keeping an eye on what was happening. As Al goes to the post office to try to get some help. And, wow, nothing has really changed in, 36 years?
If I can't get this package back.
You'd have to call the addressee and discuss it with him.
You see, that's the problem. I don't know the addressee. Can't you trace it or do something like that?
Technically, yes, but it'll take 30 days.
Whatever happened, or neither rain nor snow nor sleet. Look, this is pretty important, and I was wondering...
You get a court order. We can speed things along. Otherwise, 30 days.
Did you ever consider charm school?
Next.
I did have a very helpful woman last time I was at the post office. I had to mail something complicated to Hannah, but she was so sweet. It also sounded like she had been smoking cigarettes from the day she was born. She sounded like this, honey. And I was like, you know what, 5 stars. I actually did that little survey. Left her 10 out of 10. Maybe for the voice, but I was just like, wow, I've never had someone so helpful at the post office before. Because I have to mail so much stuff to Canada, and it can be such a pain in the ass, even though I fill out the forms correctly every time. If I'm not guesstimating how much this old t-shirt is worth so I could put on the customs receipt that I slap on there, things like that, where I was like, so thank you to the one nice lady in Studio City. I hope she enjoyed her smoke break. Before we check in with Papa Lombard, let's go check in with our man, Lawrence Fowler, who gets into his car with a sketch composite on his window. Now, once again, this is very famous character actor Vincent Schiavelli. You will not know that name. You will know that face. And you will also see that that composite is much more handsome than his actual face. And so he gets in, Crockett gets in on one side, and Tubbs gets in on the other, squeeze them together, and it's a really funny gif. And they're going to grill him like dinner.
Look like when you're in the joint.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, let's try grand theft, conspiracy, accessory to murder. You understand those
Oh,
charges?
God, I knew it. I knew it.
Whoa. Take it easy there, Larry. Don't go squirrely on us now. Just try and look at this as a career decision.
You can either stand on the Miranda right and tough it out,
Or you can cooperate. Now, we can't promise anything, you understand, but...
They cheated me. They stole Havoc! It was my concept, my idea. I invented it. They all said I was crazy, but I did it. Me. And then they stole it.
Who?
Them. The company. They said Havoc belonged to them. They said it belonged to Systex because I'm an employee. Havoc is worth hundreds of millions of dollars to them. Do you know what they gave me as a bonus? Do you know? $5,000. I have 2 teenage sons. That doesn't even cover the car insurance.
What's Al Lombard offer you?
$200,000. But he promised me no one would get hurt.
Do you know where he stashed it?
No, he told me he sent it to his uncle.
Across town on a yacht, Hans is talking with Librizzis, also known as Charlie Glide, also known as Ned Eisenberg. So it turns out, surprise, surprise, Librizzis really did want to put that hit, but really wanted to put that hit on Al, because now Fabrizi is kind of screwed.
I hired his son to steal a prototype of a new weapon. He died without revealing its location. You ruin the deal, you get it back. You have 5 days to deliver the Havoc system to me, no more.
How the hell am I supposed to find it?
That's your problem. I warn you, Mr. Librizzis, I'm not a man who tolerates failure.
Mr. Whitesler, we're both businessmen. There's no need for threats here.
I wouldn't insult you with threats, Mr. Librizzis. I'm merely stating the obvious. Failure is weakness. And in our profession, weakness attracts sharks like blood.
Baby Librizzis kind of laughs that off and says, like, yeah, I'll get it back for you, but claims it's not because he's scared, it's because he did business with his father. So, in other words, he's going to get this back one way or the other. First, he's going to send some goons.
Hired goons?
To take out Grandpa, but Al is having none of that. In fact, as he drowns one of the guys in the pool, gets a little bit more information, the next day we see the same body being dropped into baby Librizzis' pool while he's cuddling his girlfriend. Great gif of the body just getting thrown into the pool, and even better after of the actor underwater trying not to breathe, and honestly doing a great job, because I would not be as cool, calm, and collected. So it is on. Now, as we check back in with Vice, they're re-listening to the conversation they recorded on Hans's yacht between him and Librizzis on a very old school listening device. Not posting that to make fun, but yeah, like, just look how far technology has come, especially with the white and the red inputs. I'm like, I know exactly how that is because there was a yellow one for video. So I get that. Trudy and Gina come in, both looking like $1 million. Trudy, however, stealing the gun show. Gina in kind of like a goldenrod, orangey yellow. I haven't really seen her in this color recently, but it looks really good on her. It doesn't wash her out. And they come in to report on the shootout at Al Lombard's house. But Al, again, trying to get into good graces with Tommy, makes a visit. However, Rita, Tommy's mother, still doesn't want much to do with him.
You have no right to be here. Tommy, I said go inside.
Okay, Mom.
Tommy, I'll see you later, huh?
Okay.
I thought I made it clear you're not welcome here.
Look, Rita, I didn't come here to upset you. God knows we've both been through enough. I just think at times like this, a family needs each other.
Right. Only you're not my family. You're Sal's father, the gangster. Tommy's my only family now, and I don't want you around him ever.
Wait a minute, will you? I know how you feel about me, my past, the things that I've done, and I'm not going to apologize for any of that. But believe me, all that I care about now is what's left of the rest of my family.
Even if that was true, you can't just wipe out the past. You have enemies, Mr. Lombard, and they're not interested in your conversion.
Sal told me the way you felt, that you were worried that I would be bad for Tommy. All I'm asking for is a chance.
Is that what he told you?
Yes.
That I was worried about Tommy?
Yes.
Well, he was wrong. It wasn't Tommy I was worried about, it was Sal. He worshipped you, in spite of everything he knew about you, all the horrible things you'd done, the pain you caused him. He still idolized his father.
I never encouraged him to be like me. I'm the guy that told him to go to law school, make something out of his life.
It's not what you said, it's what you were. He wanted to be like you. Instead, he died protecting you. Now, please, do me a favor and leave.
Oh, man, it's really sad because he did put distance between him and Sal. And now that he came back and Sal was killed so quickly, I understand where Rita's coming from. And I understand that even if you tell someone not to do something that you do, it's really hard to dissuade them. And it's hard to deny that you were an influence on them. Even if you told them not to do it, you know, it's like the cool older kids telling you not to drink, not to smoke, but you're going to do it anyway because that's what they're doing. Yeah, that scene just really got me. They both really got me tearing up a little bit, if you can't tell. Crockett and Tubbs, again, big hearts for this guy. And, you know, they bring him in because they want him to help with Librizzis. And
today it was us outside your grandson's home. Next time, it could be Librizzis. You got no chance of taking him solo. So this must be suicide. Is that what it's about? Go out in a blaze of glory?
What do you care, huh, Crockett? I mean, what do you really care?
You want to kill yourself, go suck a tailpipe, Al. But don't shoot it out in Miami. It scares the tourists.
it is sweet because Crockett is coming at him in this tough love way that I think he really needs. And I think he's able to show that he's honest and that he will do everything he can to make sure that the grandson is taken care of.
It's your choice.
How?
Sal stole an experimental weapon for Hans Weitzler. He died before he could make delivery. I think you know where it is. You help me recover it, and I'll use it to nail Librizzis.
All right, Crockett. We'll try it your way.
But you gotta give me your word that you won't kill him.
You just remember that I am trusting you with the life of my grandson.
Also, I will bring this up when we get to fashion, but Lombard looks great. You have Tubbs looking on the other side of the glass in, while Crockett is talking with him in like a sky blue, like a crew neck, not a V-neck like I was talking about last time, with a dark dusty rose blazer and white pants. Just a great setup and a great shot. Speaking of great shots, Al is going to go talk to his lawyer. Well, doesn't go that well.
I didn't, Al. Swear I don't know anything about it. You gotta believe me.
You're not trying to insult my intelligence, are you, Mike? I invented the setup. Tell me.
All right, it's true. You told me to fix things so you could come back. But it was Librizzis who paid off the judge.
You bastard. My son is dead because of you.
No, Al, please.
Well, don't cry, Mike. Hell is full of lawyers.
So much. So it turns out the lawyer pressed a button and a security guard comes. The security guard shoots Al. Oh my God. Then Crockett is talking with the lawyer at the scene. Then when Sonny and Rico go check out the body Boo! There's a great picture of Al with his eyes wide open. He's faked his death. He had a protective vest on underneath. But this is a way, again, that he can go into witness protection, that he can at least put a distance between him and his grandson and the Librizzis, and be able to get what he wanted.
You certainly took your sweet time getting here.
What the hell's the hurry? You're dead.
I kept Sadler away from him, like you said. I appreciate it. You did a good job quitting things.
Hey, not so fast. This ain't over yet.
Give me a break here, will you, Crockett? I get bed sores all over me.
Beats bullet holes, man. If Librizzis thinks you're dead, then they won't mess with your family. That's the only protection you got.
Okay, so now what?
Well, Sadler calls Librizzis and tells him what happens. Then we'll contact him, offering to sell Havoc. He'll be a lot less suspicious if you're dead.
Meanwhile, you'll be stashed in a nice, safe hotel room while the feds come up with a new identity for you.
Now, checking back in on Fabrizzi, as he's taste testing his pasta sauce and he brings him over to his beautiful girlfriend as she's sipping a glass of red wine, he gets a call as the phone is given to him with that comically long antenna by one of his goons.
Librizzi.
What?
Some guy says he has something you want.
You got 2 seconds.
Havoc.
Well, it works. As Crockett, undercover, is going to make a plan to meet up with Fabrizzi, we get a very, very sweet scene with Al and Tommy. Al goes to the daycare that Tommy was dropped off at, tries to go in when rightfully and correctly someone stops him. Was like, you need identification, you can't just be in here. And Tommy waves him over and says Grandpa, and they have a very sweet heart-to-heart.
Grandpa's got to go away for a while, and I don't know when I'm going to see you again. But I want you to know that I love you very much, and that I'm going to think about you every day.
Where are you going, Grandpa?
Far away.
To heaven with Daddy?
Oh, I don't think so. But you just remember that your daddy loves you very much, and that I love you very much, even though we're not here.
Don't leave, Grandpa. I love you.
The scene is extra sweet because it's so bittersweet. Like, he's doing the right thing. He wants to just provide and give a better life for his grandson, but he also brings him a little lunchbox. That's how he gets into the daycare too, by saying that he brought his grandson's lunch. And like, that's his parting gift. And since, not to segue into a later part, but since it's coming up now, this is the only song that's not composed by Tim Truman in this episode. It's Inspiration by the Gypsy Kings. As we all collectively say bye to Tommy in his cute little outfits, let's go check up on Burnett, Cooper, and Librizzis. This is a fun nod back to season 3.
First, I check out the goods. I ain't buying no high school science project. Problem, Mr. Cooper?
And Crockett as Burnett blows up the boat they came in on. Such a great nod to when Irish eyes are smiling. But just as the deal's about to go down, after they've shown that it works.
This one's for my son.
Well, I edited out the gunshots, but unfortunately we all could see where this is going because it looks like he's about to pull out a gun. So Librizzis shoots him, and then Crockett and Tubbs shoot Librizzis, who very cinematically falls into his goon's arms as they both fall onto the ground. Heartbroken, Crockett and Tubbs go say bye and wish he wouldn't have done what he did, but this, like they alluded to before, he was trying to commit suicide, and this time he did it.
You didn't even have a gun, man. Why?
Do me a favor, Sonny. Tell Rita. Explain things to my grandson. You gave me your word, man. I kept my word, Crockett. I didn't kill him.
Now, unfortunately, your editor / media content manager managed to get 5 gifts, and none of them were actually the moment where Crockett was closing Al's eyes as a way to like round out the whole episode. Because the final parting shot, the freeze frame, is on Crockett almost out of frame walking away, when I thought it would have been much better for it to have, the eyes closed. But yeah, that's a bummer of the episode. Let's talk some fashion. Oh man. Well, let's celebrate Dennis Farina one last time, as is his last episode in Miami Vice. If you want to look way back, I haven't made TikToks in a while, but I might repost. I made a great TikTok of him when I want to say it was season 1, so it's been a while. But him in his robe, about to go to bed, reading Sports View when he's ambushed by goons, just such a great look. And like, that's how we all need to spend our downtime, just decompressing. I also really liked his suit. It's nothing special, but just how he's dressing up to see his grandson is so sweet. Aww. So he's naturally my best dressed man of the episode. Best dressed woman, I'm going to give it to Rita. So she has been on Miami Vice before. She was Sandy. She was the runaway call girl. She's been on a couple episodes. But how they styled her, very preppy and waspy this episode. But this in particular, this turtleneck with this very fine outer jacket / shirt tied together with the belt. Again, this was the best photo I could find of her. And it's her kind of at a 45-degree angle, cussing him out so her mouth is open. But with the gold bangles and the hair all blown out, like, just looks like $1 million. And as best dressed woman runner-up, I'm naturally going to give it to Gina. She looks so great. I love her big earrings. Her makeup looks really great. And I love the dress that she's wearing. And the brooch is really cool as well. Now, maybe this is a new one. No, I've definitely done this before. So I have a tie for best mustache. We have Hanley from the FBI, and then we just have this background actor. Just, it's such a grimy looking mustache. It's so gross. That's why I had to circle it. And then I also had a wild card, the lady behind Al at USPS, or sorry, not USPS. It's definitely not USPS. It's just at the post office. I just really loved her outfit. You have the striped mock turtleneck t-shirt. You have big black hoop earrings. You have the blown out strawberry blonde hair. You have the, I don't want to say cobalt blue, but kind of that royal blue soft blazer, soft jacket with those cool shoulder pads. Like, that was just a vibe. And I'm sorry I could not get a better picture of her. But our best dressed man, our best dressed person this episode, obviously is going to be Al Lombard. Now, let's get into some quotes. So, quote number 1, just an average day at the post office.
Look, this is pretty important, and I was wondering...
You get a court order. We can speed things along. Otherwise, 30 days.
Did you ever consider charm school?
Next.
Speaking of professions, some sage advice from Hans as quote number 2.
I wouldn't insult you with threats, Mr. Librizzis. I'm merely stating the obvious. Failure is weakness. And in our profession, weakness attracts sharks like blood.
Now, I know this is very much not to use TikTok brain rot, but there should be like a Who Is This Diva award, because Hans is definitely the winner this episode. But let's not say anything too quickly, because here is quote number 3 from Al himself.
Don't cry, Mike. Hell is full of lawyers.
I actually know a few lawyers who would also agree with that statement as well. So for this episode, the winner is quote number 3.
Don't cry, Mike. Hell is full of lawyers.
And with that, we are wrapping up this episode of Vice and Easy. Thank you for tuning in for my recap of World of Trouble. Just want to give a special shout out to the Miami Vice Wikia because I'm making a quick editing note. I am wrong. Michael DeLorenzo wasn't working on Fame at this time. That was much earlier. He was working on Head of the Class. So apologies for that. If you do go to the IMDb, I remember I watched 1 or 2 episodes when I was evacuating for the fire and I was at my father-in-law's. So we had cable and we have YouTube TV now, but cable is a whole different ballgame. So I was like, ooh, what old sitcoms could I watch? And I stumbled upon Head of the Class. And yeah, Dan Schneider just really gives me the creeps, and just seeing him when he was young, I'm like, this is the most prolific man from this entire series. You have beautiful Robin Givens and all these talented people, and this man. Ugh. But sorry, not to end on that note. Just want to say thank you, Miami Vice Wikia, for providing the correct information, and thank you for your help as always. And thank you to you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for telling your friends. Thank you for leaving 5-star reviews. Thank you for supporting me, and thank you for following me on all things social at Vice and Easy Podcast. I will be back in your ears in just a little bit as we round up the end of season 5. Thank you, and as always,
hey man, Miami Vice is #1 new show.